The alarm bells rang through the massive space station called Nexus Prime. Ambassador Zethkar rushed through the metal halls, his blue scales shining under the bright lights. He carried a data pad in his four-armed grip, and his face showed deep worry. The information on that pad would change everything the galaxy knew about humans. The great meeting hall was already full when Zethkar arrived. Representatives from 12 different alien species sat around the huge circular table. The Vorthon Empire, the Hegemony, the Dominion, and many others had sent their best leaders. They all looked nervous and scared. Fellow council members, Zethkar began, his voice echoing in the large room. What I am about to show you will shock you all. Our scouts have found something impossible. He pressed a button on his data pad. A large hologram appeared above the table. It showed a massive ship floating in the darkness of space. The ship was longer than 3 city blocks and covered in strange markings. But the most shocking thing was the flag it carried. The flag of Earth. This cannot be real, said High Chancellor Moradin, a tall gray alien with 6 eyes. Humans do not have ships like this. They barely learned to fly between stars 50 years ago. That is what we all thought, Zethkar replied. But our sensors do not lie. This ship is real, and it is human. Far away from the meeting, Captain Jake Murphy stood on the bridge of his ship, the UES Defiance. He was a tall man with brown hair and calm green eyes. His small fleet of 3 human ships was exploring the outer edge of known space, looking for new worlds to study. Captain, called Chief Engineer Lisa Taylor from her station. She was a smart woman with red hair tied back in a ponytail. I am picking up something strange on the sensors. There is a large object about 2 hours away. Jake walked over to look at her screen. What kind of object? I am not sure, sir. It is big, really big. And it is not moving at all. It might be a derelict ship. Jake thought for a moment. Finding old ships in space was always dangerous, but it could also lead to important discoveries. Set course for the object, but keep our weapons ready just in case. The 3 human ships moved through space toward the mysterious object. As they got closer, everyone on the bridge stopped talking. The thing in front of them was huge. It was at least 10 times bigger than their largest ship. The hull was black with silver lines running across it, and it had a shape unlike anything they had ever seen. My God, whispered Dr. Alex Carter, the fleet scientist who studied old alien cultures. He was a thin man with glasses and always carried a notebook. I have never seen anything like this before. What civilization could have built something so massive? Lisa ran her scanners over the giant ship. Captain, this is strange. The materials it is made from, they do not match anything in our databases. Some of these metals should not even be possible to create. Jake stared at the enormous vessel. Any signs of life? No, sir. But the ship still has power. Very low power, like it is sleeping. Sleeping for how long? Lisa checked her readings. Again. Based on the energy decay, maybe thousands of years, sir. The bridge fell quiet. Everyone knew that finding an ancient ship could mean great riches or terrible danger. Sometimes both. Can we dock with it? Jake asked. There appears to be a docking port on the lower section, Lisa replied. It looks familiar somehow. Dr. Carter looked up from his notebook. Familiar how? Well, it is hard to explain. But the design looks almost human. Not exactly like our ships, but similar enough that I think we can connect to it safely. Jake made his decision. Prepare a boarding party. Lisa, you are with me. Alex, bring your equipment, and someone wake up Dr. Susan Ward. If there are any writings or languages in there, we will need her. Dr. Susan Ward was the team's language expert. She was a quiet woman with dark hair who could speak 15 different alien languages. She had been sleeping when the call came, but she quickly got dressed and joined the boarding party. The small group put on their spacesuits and took a shuttle over to the giant ship. As they got closer, they could see more details. The hull had strange symbols carved into it. Some looked almost like letters, but not from any language they knew. Those markings, Susan said over the radio. They look old, really old, but there is something about them. They found the docking port and connected their shuttle. The airlock opened with a soft hiss. Clean air came out, which surprised everyone. The atmosphere is breathable, Lisa said, checking her scanner. Oxygen, nitrogen, the same mix we breathe on Earth. They removed their helmets and stepped inside. The halls were huge, with high ceilings and smooth walls. Soft blue lights came on as they walked, as if the ship knew they were there. The ship is responding to us, Alex said, taking pictures of everything. After thousands of years, it still works. They walked deeper into the ship, following the main corridor. The walls were covered with more symbols and what looked like star maps. Susan stopped at one section and stared. "Jake, you need to see this," she said, her voice full of excitement and fear. Everyone gathered around her. She pointed at a section of symbols on the wall. "These symbols, I think they are letters, human letters, but not from any human language I know. They look like they might be from ancient Greek or Latin, but older, much older." Lisa ran her scanner over the wall. The age readings are incredible. This writing is at least 10,000 years old. But that is impossible. Humans were not even in space 10,000 years ago. Dr. Carter took more pictures. Maybe these are not human symbols. Maybe they just look similar by accident. But Susan was not convinced. "No, look at this pattern here, and this one. These are definitely human writing systems, but from a time that should not exist." They continued exploring until they reached what looked like the main computer room. The walls were covered with screens and control panels. In the center of the room was a large chair that looked like it was made for a human. Lisa found a control panel that looked familiar. "I think I can turn on the main computer," she said. "Is that safe?" Jake asked. "The power levels are stable, and if this really is a human ship, the systems might be compatible with ours." Jake nodded. "Do it." Lisa pressed a series of buttons. The room came to life. Screens lit up all around them, showing star maps and streams of data. Then a voice spoke from hidden speakers. "Welcome home," the voice said in perfect English. "We have been waiting for you." Back at Nexus Prime, more reports were coming in. Scout ships from different alien civilizations were finding similar human vessels across the galaxy. All of them were ancient, all of them were huge, and all of them were starting to wake up. 12 ships so far, Zethkar reported to the Council, and our scientists say there could be hundreds more. High Chancellor Morden stood up, his 6 eyes showing fear. "This changes everything. If humans have access to ancient technology like this, they could become the most powerful species in the galaxy overnight." "What do we do?" asked General Thakmor, a warrior from the Dominion. "Do we attack them before they fully understand what they have found?" The council room filled with worried voices. For centuries, the major alien powers had kept humans as junior partners in galactic affairs. Humans were useful workers and soldiers, but never a real threat to alien control. Now everything was different. If humans really had ancient ships with unknown technology, the balance of power in the galaxy could shift completely. Zethkar looked at the hologram of the massive human ship still floating above the table. "We need more information before we make any decisions. But one thing is clear. We can no longer treat humans as a minor species." "Send more scouts," ordered Morden. "I want to know everything about these ships. How many there are, what they can do, and most importantly, whether the humans know how to use them." As the alien leaders made their plans, Jake Murphy and his team stood in the ancient ship's computer room, listening to a voice that claimed to have been waiting for them for thousands of years. The galaxy was about to discover that humans were not the newcomers everyone thought they were. The voice from the ancient ship's computer spoke again, calm and patient like an old teacher talking to children. "You must have many questions," it said. "I am called Prometheus. I have been waiting in sleep mode for your species to return to the stars." Captain Jake Murphy looked around the massive computer room. The screen showed star maps with routes marked in glowing lines connecting thousands of worlds across the galaxy. "Return to the stars? What do you mean?" Humans only started traveling to space 50 years ago. That is what your current history tells you, Prometheus replied. But your history is incomplete. Your people have been among the stars for millions of years. Dr. Alex Carter stepped forward, his notebook ready. That's impossible. We have records of human civilization going back only a few thousand years on Earth. Your records show only your most recent awakening, the AI explained. Sit down, all of you. What I am about to tell you will change how you see everything. The humans found chairs around the room. The screens changed to show images of space, planets,